What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the SoCal Tram. I'm Matt.
And I'm Cesar.
And today, before we get into this fancy, familiar bottle, we just want to say if you're new here, hey, thanks for checking out the review. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. And if you're a return viewer, hey, we appreciate you sticking around. Nonetheless, everybody hit that little bell. That way you know whenever we drop a brand new video. Cesar, I know I got a bottle of this, but what did you bring to my bar today?
Today, I got something from my bar, folks. We got this beautiful, delicious 21-year-old GlenDronach Parliament. All the levels are met. Scotch. So, gotcha.
Everyone's like, what the hell?
That was good. So guys, we're here with this GlenDronach 21, where I like to have a lot of fun, and yeah, let's get into it. So, fun fact.
Transitions here at the SoCal Tram.
Fun fact, guys. I believe this is actually a 23-year-old, not a 21-year-old, because GlenDronach was actually shut down for a couple years, but then came back to life, all while juice was still sitting in the bay. So for more details on that one, click on the link right here to check out our 18-year-old GlenDronach explanation of that. Also, this is just like everything else on the lineup, matured in Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez sherry cask for at least 21 years. Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez, I mean, I don't know if they're the only, but they're definitely the best, the best sherry casks that there are out there. This series has been named Parliament after the colony of Parliament or rooks that have been nesting in the trees that overlook the GlenDronach distillery for almost 200 years. It has also won many awards of which are too much to name, so I'm gonna just put it right here and show each little medal up here on the screen.
Look at all
for
these
you guys.
awards. They're so fancy.
Yeah. Pinkies up, everyone. Pinkies up. Anywho, besides that, this, folks, hard to believe. I know, hard to believe, Matthew. This has been...
My mother calls me Matthew. You call me Matt.
That's how you know things are serious. This is
a serious whiskey, folks.
This has been in my stock for over a year. And look at this. This is like barely the shoulder, barely even been poured. All right.
Take two.
So, 3, 2,
And scene.
1. Barely even been poured. So, with that being said, you know I love my heavy pours. You know I love my 4-finger pours. You know I love my 5-finger pours, as many of you have seen if you follow me on social media. But this
isn't even past the shoulder.
Oh, dude, this is not. This isn't
I
even.
got us most of the way here today.
So far, there hasn't even been a 4-finger pour in total out of this bottle. That's how much I'm taking care of it. Not only because it was $300, or actually, it was like
I think it's like $250.
$250. Not only because it's $250, and that's at retail price. That's the minimum you're gonna get it out there for, because then it's just skyrockets from there. But GlenDronach, already something we know and love. Very beautiful, very amazing Scotch, sherry, beautiful sherry masters, right? Now we have a 21 going on 23-year-old maturation of that beautiful, phenomenal perfection, right? So easy to say, I'm expecting a lot of this. What about you?
So, I mean, again, you already touched on a little bit with, GlenDronach was closed for a little while. Back in the 90s, they were mothballed, but at that time, distilleries just kind of still sat there because chances are somebody was going to pick them up. So when we say this is like 23 years old, it's just because it's using a little bit older stock. Like Cesar said, you can check out our All It Ice video. We already linked it up top. Kind of go into a little bit of the history. And it's just kind of cool, right? It's not saying like, this is more valuable or anything. I mean, truth be told, it is if you're a whiskey enthusiast, but like it's just cool because you're getting a 21-plus-year-old whiskey at a 21-year-old price. If the liquor store knows what they got, yeah, I've seen this as high as $500. I have a bottle of it. My bottle was from 2019, so mine's a little bit older than that. So, but mine is also a 700 milliliter bottle. I was gonna do 70 CL because it's UK.
They're gonna be like, "What's that?"
But I know everyone's like, what there over here? But it is a 700 milliliter bottle, so you got a little bit more whiskey than I did. And truth be told, because Cesar brought his bottle, I poured a little bit more out of it.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
But we are 7 minutes in.
It's my brother right here. He can pour as much as he wants.
We are 7 minutes in. Let's get to the whiskey, shall we? Let's get to the respect that this whiskey deserves. We just did the 15-year revival, which is up here. And we were both kind of goo-goo gaga over that bottle. And again, like you said, we've done a bunch of them. Pedro Jimenez, Oloroso Sherry. Let's get to it.
So on the nose, I get a very, very light toasted oak. But you know what's funny? Overall, I get a lot more nose from the 15 than I do from the 21.
Yeah.
I get a lot more nose.
I was just thinking that.
A lot more. Not to say it's bad. It's actually really good. Really good.
Yeah,
but
it's not saying that it's lacking. It's just saying that the 15 has a little bit more coming out of the glass.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not bad nose, any stretch of the imagination. Like, I'd have to struggle to say that this is a beautiful nose. Like, this is still great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Toffee, fig. Like, you know when you get a Fig Newton and you get that malty crust, but you also get like the fruity jam, like straight jumping out of there right now. And maybe that's because I had a cereal bar.
A cereal bar over here in America.
Again, the words are not happening for me today, folks.
I reckon I had a cereal bar.
You got that cereal bar there, good yet? Turn into like Boomhauer.
Drinking that whiskey turned me out. I was like, damn good whiskey.
A little bit of raisin coming out. I even get a little like orange citrus note out.
Yeah, I do actually. That
like kind of like doing a twist of orange and then like squeezing the rind on the glass.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting a little of that.
Not a square. You got to twist the orange.
I mean, that is a pretty common bar technique. Yeah. Whatever. Don't be a jerk about it. Pour more of your damn whiskey. Yeah. Just sip from the bottle. Hit it from the neck. All right, I'm going to taste it now.
Hey, tell your wife. Wow. Wow. Do you want me to talk first or do you want to talk first? Okay, so, wow. Next. No, just kidding. All right, folks, this is great. I get some plum. So, besides the plum, you know how in the 15-year I was referencing the raisins? I was like, hey, yeah, it's raisins, but you had that little bit of sourness with the raisins, like most raisins are. This is like almost like fresh raisins, although they're kind of expired grapes. But almost like freshly expired grapes where it doesn't have the sour note. It's like imagine eating raisins without the sour note. Like literally imagine that because raisins have some bit of sweet to them. So imagine just that and that's it. That's what you get with this. The level of smooth drinking, easy it is to drink, also elevates from the 15-year. The 12 to the 15-year is about an 80% jump in. Wow, everything. Smoothness, richness, flavor, all that. The jump from the 15 to the 21 is probably like a 40 to 50% jump. But it's still a jump. It's still great. It's still magnificent. It's still easy going. Oh my God, folks. This is where it's at, a.k.a. the bee's knees.
It's a great cocktail, by the way. Bee's knees. You've never had it? It's a great cocktail. Son of a bitch.
There is absolutely nothing bad to say about this. Nothing. Like, you can take a sip and breathe right away. It's not choking you up.
So okay, it's been a minute since I had this. Like I had last had this in 2019. Only reason why I know that is because this is a bottle that I took to my bachelor party weekend in Vegas. My suitcase was full of clothing and 4 bottles of GlenDronach. And the cork broke on the 12, so we had to finish the 12 that night.
Oh no!
I know. Oh darn!
Oh.
There was 7 of us. We couldn't get a bottle of scotch. And I very specifically remember my best man. He took a sip of the 12 and he hadn't had it. And his first reaction, like we all sipped it, and he was like, "That's the 12?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so I remember sipping this 21 and just thinking of and again, a lot can be said for the moment. I'm getting married in a few weeks. I'm with my best people, and I'm having a great time. Like this, I'd been to Vegas before, but it was always for work. Never been to Vegas with my boys, and just had an amazing time. And we all sipped this whiskey on Saturday night before we went out to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant burger, which was awesome.
Nice.
By the way,
I heard that was amazing.
It's so good. But like seeing like at that time one other dude who was like into whiskey, like knew about whiskey, but not like never had GlenDronach or anything, and just seeing everybody's collective faces be like, this is an exceptional bottle. Like what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was a moment that we all shared where it was like, holy crap, like this is different, right? And it just immediately brought me back. Like it is so good. You get that easy sipping, like non-offensive, for lack of a better word. I know we said we were going to use it less in 2021, but sometimes smooth is smooth. And what I'm talking about is texture, right? It's not like 48% ABV. I don't think we've shouted that out. Well, it's oily. It's not offensive. And I've been talking kind of intentionally, and I kind of recap that story. So we run a clock off screen so we can kind of get an idea of how long the review is going, so we can, for lack of a better word, shut the hell up. And this has been going for about 4 minutes on this finish. I haven't taken another sip. Check the tape. And I've just been kind of sitting with it. And this finish has been going for about 4 minutes. And it's just walnut, like that waxy walnut, getting a little bit of that raisin. That orange peel shows up on the finish. Like, this is such a complex whiskey. It's not offering necessarily anything new from like the 15 or the 18 or the 12. Now, truth be told, I haven't had the 18 in a little while. But it's not offering necessarily anything new, but it's just staying with me longer. So I'm going to get into it with water and see what I think. Have you already dropped water on it?
I have. And to be honest, it didn't do much. It tastes just as good, just the same influences.
A little more leather out of it with the water on the nose.
I put 4 drops of water in this too.
Yeah, I do about 4.
Yeah, and it's still...
About 4. How do you do about 4? I put 4 drops of water.
4, and then it squeezed out a little bit, and then I put it back, and it fell out a little bit.
Got that some bitch.
No, but yeah, man, like, this is holding up well either way, but personally, I'd probably still have it neat just because, you know, hey, it's good whiskey, but...
The leathery tobacco notes with the water that come forward... I personally really like. I'm not big on like smoking or anything like that. It's just not for me. But if I'm drinking pretty heavily, I will. Sounds so juvenile. Be like, let me get a clove. You know what I mean? Like, but like that's what I crave. Like if I'm drinking heavily and I'm in Vegas, like let me get a clove. But like this reminds me of the closest I've used the analogy before of like taking a cigar, dipping the butt in the whiskey, and actually like smoking the cigar that way. This tastes most like that. Without that tobacco-y kind of like harshness, it's just a smooth, easy, like smoking tobacco. It's really nice. Like it's not offensive, and it's just it's got so many layers to the whiskey, for lack of a better word. And you're like, oh yeah, it's a 21-year-old Scotch. That means it's got to be better, right? Like yeah, there's that common misconception, but I'll give you another example. The Grangestone 21-year-old that we did. You can check that one up here. That was way back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, way back.
This wipes the floor with that. Like, there is a clear difference in quality output that you are getting with a GlenDronach 21 Parliament versus a Total Wine exclusive 21-year-old. And again, it's not saying it's bad, because for $100, it's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, for the price, it's a different price difference.
For the price, it's great. Yeah. But, like, this is so
complex.
a million times so much different that it's just... you can't compare the two. You can compare the two because they have a 21-year-old age statement, but they are on opposite ends of the spectrum. They're not even in the same stadium. They're not even the same damn sport. Like, one's playing hockey and the other's running NASCAR. Like, those are the two whitest analogies I could come up with.
Yeah, says the white guy.
But, like, you know, two sports I don't even watch. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, it is exceptional. It's fantastic. It is a 4.5. It's a 4.5, and I'll tell you why. 4.5 because at $2.50 it's a little salty. Like, just hands down, $2.50 is expensive. Like, that's a lot of money to put out for a whiskey. So I get it. It's pricey. Also, it's a 4.5 because this isn't a true 21. I gotta ding it a little bit for that because here's what I'm thinking. If I am new to the Scotch aisle and I can't find a bottle that's gonna be that little bit of extra age stock, what does that say for it? You know what I mean? So again, I'm going to ding it a little bit of that. If you know what you're looking for, find this bottle because you're going to be, you know, having a better experience. But I'm inclined to think that that still means you're going to get some good whiskey. So for me, $2.50, little salty, little extra years. I got to ding it a little bit just because it's to be fair. You can't be like, oh, it's a full-blown 5 because it's 23 years old at a 21-year-old price. Even at a 21-year-old price, it's still a little salty. So it's a 4.5 for me because it is damn exceptional. Bring it over to my house more often because I want to pour from your bottle.
So for me, GlenDronach 21. When I drink you, I have a lot of fun. Take your time. Don't be on the run. This is a legend, just like rest in peace, Big Pun. So I'm gonna rate it actually a 5, guys. 5 guys. I'm gonna rate it a 5, guys. I'm gonna rate it a 5 because yeah, it's priced a little high, but it's also tied with like the best Scotch I've ever had. And knowing how good GlenDronach does their stuff, this flavor profile is something I wouldn't mind consistently having in my decanter if I made $1 million a year at work because of how good the flavor is. I consistently want that flavor. There's other high-end whiskeys that I try that are like, wow, this is freaking amazing. But if I have this all the time, then maybe, you know, it's not going to be that amazing. This, with the flavor profile it has, I can have this all the time and be like, dude, it is amazing every time. So that's why I'm going to give it a 5. 5 for me.
Yeah, I can't knock you for that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't knock you for giving it a 5 because it is an exceptional whiskey. I would say, just my closing thought here, I know I already rated it, and I'm not going to change my rating because I think it's a 4.5. Like, it's very good whiskey. I would love to give it a 5, but it is, even if it's just straight 21, it's a little salty on the price, especially if you're just starting into a whiskey hobby. Don't buy a whiskey just because it says 21 years old on the label. Find a whiskey that you think you might like. But I think this might be a whiskey you might like, to be fair. I think that this is the definition, like hands down definition of a sherry bomb.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, if you are new to drinking whiskey, new to drinking spirits, and you're not used to the high proof, 48% is not going to kick you in the teeth like a 59% teapot might. You know what I mean? So again, this to me, final thought, it's a definition of a sherry bomb for sure. But do us a favor, guys. Hit us up in the comments. What do you think of the GlenDronach 21-year-old? Do you like it? Do you love it? Have you even had it? Let us know your thoughts. What's your favorite GlenDronach down in the comments. Also, while you're there, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We love interacting with you guys there. Until next time, Cesar, you got anything else you want to add?
No, what about you, brother?
Stay safe, drink well, drink more GlenDronach. All aboard?
GlenDronach. I messed that up.
Catch you next time. 2 years. 2 years, and that's our first mess up on that. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Alright, so barely even
all of our credibility. What little we have just gone. There it went.
That little whore.